For Simple to actually get through this. He's going to throw the AWP in. Oh my god! Simple! What is happening?
What does Counter-Strike, League of Legends, FIFA, and Farm Simulator have in common? They're all games with a professional esports scene. Yes, Farm Simulator has a competitive scene. Esports comes in many different shapes and sizes with a wide range of games and genres. Some are still small, played mostly online with relatively small prize pools, while others are huge events with massive sponsorships played in front of sold-out stadiums and played for millions of dollars. So how did this all start? How large is this industry? And what does the future look like for esports?
Maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they ice blast and fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the ice blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're gonna get wiped from the face of the earth apart from aggressive.
You could be forgiven for missing this industry. It kind of happened overnight, and it's still very young. While there were high-score competitions in the 80s, it wasn't until the 90s with the release of multiplayer games like Street Fighter, Warcraft, and Quake, where players could directly compete against each other, that head-to-head tournaments took place. And the first esport event that resembles what we have today was Red Annihilation in 1997, a Quake tournament where after 2,000 players competed online, the top 16 were flown out to E3 that year for a final showdown, where the winner, Dennis Fong, famously won the fabled game developer John Carmack's Ferrari. The introduction of broadband internet gave esports its first boost and expanded its reach. With broadband, it was easier than ever to compete and allowed the very best to rise to the top, leading to better tournaments. However, undoubtedly the biggest boost for esport was Twitch in 2011. The accessibility of Twitch made it easier to watch your favorite competitions. Likewise, it was easier to broadcast your tournament to a wide audience, and esport viewership exploded. In just 2 years, the League of Legends World Championship went from 1.7 million views in 2011 to 32 million views in 2013. Twitch enabled esports to develop into a spectator sport. In the years after Twitch's launch, esports has continued to show immense growth. Esport analytics company Newzoo shows that from 2018 to the end of 2019, there was a 12% increase year over year, bringing the global esports viewing audience at the end of 2020 to 435.8 million. This year, in the US alone, there are more people watching esports than the NBA or MLB. Audience isn't the only growth in esports, with prize pools continuing to get larger and larger. In 2019, 16-year-old Kyle Gersdorf won the Fortnite World Cup with a prize pool of $30 million. This year, Team Spirit won the lion's share of the Dota 2 international prize pool of $40 million. For context, in 2019, esports prize pools paid out more than the Tour de France, the Masters, the Indy 500, and Wimbledon. As you can imagine, with a lot of hype surrounding this industry's boom, there's a lot of money following it. With some revenue being made up from ticket sales, merchandising, and media rights, the majority is sponsorships. Whether it's directly or indirectly, many brands are investing into esports. And it's this revenue growth that allows esports to stand tall. Up until 2018, esports revenue had increased by 30% each year. In 2019, the esports market was valued at $957.5 million. The industry saw its first decline in 2020, attributed to loss of ticket sales during the pandemic. But in 2021, esports revenue cracked through the billion-dollar mark. While esports is still young, through some growing pains, it has matured rapidly. Like many, 2020 was esports' worst year yet, but it came back stronger than ever. The future of esport is bright, with continued investment from big names such as Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, Mike Tyson, and large organizations such as the Philadelphia 76ers, Miami Heat, PSGFC, and many others. A lot of people are banking on the continued growth of esports. Audience is expected to grow to 577.3 million by 2024, with Newzoo estimating that revenue at 1.6 billion. All of this continues to allow more careers and businesses in the industry. Esports is a massive, now billion-dollar industry, and it's here to stay.